The dog does not bark for nothing, and the cat does not lurk for nothing. Welcome to section 19 of chapter 3 of the Holy Quran. It begins with sign 181. Namshi. لقد سمع الله قول الذين قالوا إن الله فقير. God God hath heard, hath is spelled Hath, is Old English. God hath heard the taunt of those who say, Lazina Kalu. Truly, God is indigent, and we are rich. Inna Allah fakiran wa nahnu agniya'u an wa nahnu agniya'un, sorry. Wa nahnu agniya'u. Allah fakiran wa nahnu agniya'u. We are self-sufficient or we are rich. While God is indigent, poor. So you can imagine. سنكتب ما قالوا وقتلهم الأنبياء بغير حق. سنكتب ما قالوا no sorry سنكتب ما قالوا وقتلهم سنكتب ما قالوا وقتلهم الأنبياء بغير الحق. أنبياء بغير الحق. Certainly, we shall certainly record their word, makalu, and their acts. Their act is in brackets, so without the bracket is erased. And we shall certainly record their word and of slaying the prophets in defiance of right. وَقَتْلَهُمْ النَّبِيُّ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ. So the word their act is in brackets, their act of slaying the prophets in defiance of right. And أنبياء بغير الحق. ونقول ذوقوا عذاب الحريق. ونقول ذوقوا عذاب الحريق. And we shall say, taste the chastisement of the fire. We shall say, taste ye the chastisement of the scorching fire. Well, I was talking with our region. The chastisement of the scorching fire. We have two notes to read, 486 and 487. 486 is against God being indigent and they being rich. You can imagine ignorance. And then the second one is against the Gero Haq in defiance of right, killing the prophets in defiance of right. Let's go to the first one first, 486. 486. In chapter 2, sign 247, we read, who is he that will loan to God a beautiful loan? Question mark. Then, all this is in double inverted commas. Who is he that will loan to God a beautiful loan? Is inverted commas. Then, new sentence. In other places, charity or spending in the way of God is metaphorically described as given to God. The Holy Prophet often used that expression in appealing for funds to be spent in the way of God. Mm. So this is an important note. Mm. You are in a Muslim country, you hear fi sabilillah, fi sabilillah. It was done by the prophet. Mm. It was done by the prophet in the way of God, full stop. The scoffers mocked and said, the scoffers mocked and said, so God is indigent and we are rich. Mm. So you see, so when it's asking for help in the way of God, they say, oh, so God is poor and we are rich. Mm. The blasphemy was of a piece, pardon me, the blasphemy was of a piece with all their conducts in history, comma, in slaying the prophets and men of God. So this reminds me of somebody's joke. When a father went to use the bathroom and the child was in the bathroom, and he said, "Oh God, are you still there?" Then the son came back to ask the mother, "Mom, does God go use the bathroom?" Mom asked him, "Why?" He said, "My father comes always and asks, 'Oh God, are you in the bathroom still?'" So it's similar here. Mm. When the prophet is asking for funds to help people in the way of God, they also say, "Oh, so God is poor." Mm. So this is a similitude. Or okay, the scoffers mocked and said, "So God is indigent and we are rich." All this is in double inverted commas. The blasphemy was of a piece with all their conduct in history, in slaying the prophets and men of God. Pardon me for repeating. Okay, now we go to 487 in defiance of God. For the expression slaying in defiance of right, I said in defiance of God, pardon me. For the saying slaying in defiance of right, uh, compare chapter 3, 21 and 3, 112. Chapter 3, 21 and 3, 112. I don't think it's necessary going to referring back. So we can continue. We can do it in our leisure time. Now, we go to the next sign, which is sign 182. ذلك بما قدمت أيديكم وأن الله ليس بظلام للعبيد. They also said, the word also is in brackets. They said, without the brackets, they said, God took our promise not to, no, I'm reading the third verse instead of the second. Mm. This is because of the righteous deeds which our hands sent on. Sorry, this is because of the righteous deeds which your hands, not our, which your hands sent before ye. Ma kadamat kum, ma kadamat kum, sent before thee. The words unrighteous deeds is in brackets. I believe I read it as righteous. It's not righteous, it's unrighteous deeds. This is because of the unrighteous deeds which your hands sent on before thee. Without the brackets, it reads, this is because of the which your hands sent on before ye. It doesn't make sense here, but it makes sense in Arabic. Mm. All right. Zalka bima kadamat adikum. بأيديكم وأن الله ليس بظالم للعباد. For God never, for God never do injustice to those who serve Him. So, if He's doing injustice to you, it is because you are rejecting faith. You are disobeying His laws. Okay, 488. 488, we are supposed, note 488, we are supposed to compare, to go to chapter 295 and its note. Chapter 295 and its note. We will do that. Pardon me. We will continue. Mm. Viewers can do that in their leisure time. Let's go to the next sign, which is 183. الذين قالوا إن الله أهدى إلينا ألا نؤمن لرسل حتى يأتينا بقربان حتى يأتينا بقرنون is not قربان حتى يأتينا بقربان حتى يأتينا بقربان قربان being sacrifice. They also said, also is in brackets, so they said, God took our promise not to believe in a messenger unless he showed us a sacrifice. Can it be true? Mm. Okay, I think we'll find out in the next verse. الذين قالوا إن الله أهدي إلينا ألا نؤمن لرسل حتى يأتينا بقربانا تأكلوه النار تأكلوه النار. He showed them a sacrifice consumed by fire. Let me take it in English again. They said, or they also said, God took our promise not to believe in a messenger unless he showed us a sacrifice consumed by fire from heaven. Consumed by fire, into brackets, from heaven. Inverted commas close. Then what is God telling Mal Mustafa Muhammad to say? Say, say no. Kul. Kul. Kad ja'akum rusulun min qabli bil bayinati. Say, Muhammad, say, there came to you messengers before me. Kad ja'akum rusulun min qabli. I said min qabli, it's not min qabli. It's min qabli bil bayinati. Before me, with clear signs, bayinati. With clear signs. وبالذي قلتم وبالذي قلتم فبما قتلتموهم إن كنتم صادقين فبما قتلتموهم إن كنتم صادقين. With clear signs, and even with what ye ask for. قبل البينات وبالذي قلتم فلما قتلتموهم. There came to you messengers before me with clear signs, and even with what ye asked for. Why then do ye slay them? فبما قتلتموهم. Why then do you slay them? In kuntum sadiqin, if ye speak the truth. It's a question. 489 is the note to read, and it's against fire, consumed by fire. Burnt sacrifices. Burnt sacrifices figured in the Mosaic law and in the religious ceremonies long before Moses. But it is not true that the Mosaic law laid down a fire from the heavens on a burnt sacrifice as a test of the credentials of prophets. It's not true. It may be in the Old Testament, I don't know, it's not true. Full stop. Even if it had been so, even if it has been so, did the Jews obey the prophets or showed his sign? Question mark. In Leviticus 9, 23 to 24, we are told a burnt offering prepared by Moses and Aaron, colon, then inverted commas. And there came a fire out from before the Lord and consumed upon the altar the burnt offering and the fat. So it's not surprising that the unbelievers asked Muhammad why God hasn't sent fire to burn sacrifices, to burn or sacrifice. Offering and burnt offering and the fat. Inverted commas closed, full stop, inverted commas closed. Yet the people rebelled frequently against Moses, full stop. Abel's offering, into brackets, sacrifice, was probably a burnt offering. It was accepted by God, and he was killed by Cain out of jealousy. Genesis was killed by jealousy. Colon, and refer to Genesis IV 3 to 8. That's Genesis 4 3 to 8. I believe I'm right. If I'm not, pardon me. Mosaic sacrifices were no longer needed. I don't know why longer needed is hyphenated. Longer needed is hyphenated. Mosaic sacrifice were no longer needed by the people of Jesus or the people of Muhammad or the people of Muhammad. And that was note 489 to sign 183. Let's go to sign 184. فإن كذبوك فقد كذب رسل من قبلك. Then, if they reject you, kazabuka, so were rejected messengers before thee, min qablika. Ja'u bilbinati, before thee, who came with clear signs. Min qablika ja'u bilbinati, messengers before you, who came with clear signs. Wazuburu wal kitabil munir, wazuburu, and the scriptures. Yes, scriptures is Zuburu is interpreted as scriptures, but I think that's the scripture of David. Wazuburu wal kitab mubin, and the book of enlightenment, and the book of enlightenment, and the book of enlightenment. Referring, I believe, to this Quran that I am reading or that we are listening to, and the book of enlightenment. There is a note to read 490 against book of enlightenment. 490. The three things mentioned in the text are clear signs, bayinat, Clear signs Beinat. Two, the three things mentioned are one, clear signs Beinat. Two, Zubur. And three, Kitabul Munir. Okay. The significance of one, Beinati, have explained in the note to chapter 362, as far as they relate to Jesus. I yet now who? No, that's not it. That's not it. I yet there. No, that's not it. This, okay, let's go on. As far as they relate to Jesus, full stop. In a more general sense, it means the clear evidence which God's dealings furnish about a messenger of God having a true mission, e.g., Moses in relation to Pharaoh. Full stop. Then, two, the word Zebul has been translated as scriptures. It comes from the root Zabara. Which implies something hard. Something hard. It comes from the root Zabara, which implies something hard. Full stop. The commentators are not agreed, but the prophetic writings, which seem to contemporaries difficult to understand, may well be meant here. Full stop. David's Psalms, Zubur. Okay. David's Psalms, Zubur. David's Psalms, plural. David's Psalms, Zubur, 4163 or IV 163 may also come under this description. Scriptures, either scriptures or David's Psalms. Full stop. As to three, what does three say? Let's see. And we are now going to read. As to three, there is no doubt about the literal meaning of the words, then inverted commas, of the words, the book of enlightenment. I see. As to three, there is no doubt about the literal meaning of the words, the book of enlightenment. As said, it is referring to this very Quran. But what does it precisely refer to? I take it to mean the fundamental guide to conduct, the clear rules laid down in all dispensations to help men to lead good lives. And that was note 490 to sign 184. Let's go to sign 185 with two notes. I believe I'm right. So sign 185. كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجركم يوم القيامة. No, it's not for, pardon me. Let me begin. Every soul shall have a taste of death. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. Every soul shall have a taste of death. وإنما توفون أجركم يوم القيامة. And only on the day of judgment shall ye be paid your full recompense. يوم القيامة, on the day of judgment. فمن زُزِّحَ عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز. Pardon me. well, no, yeah, fakat faza. Let me take it again. Mm. فمن زحزح فمن زحزح فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز. Uh, only he who is saved, Zuziha, only he who is saved, Zuziha, from the fire and a nar and admitted to the garden were Uthila al Jannati. Were Uthila al Jannati. Only he who is saved, that's Father. Only he who is saved far from fire and admitted to the garden will have succeeded. Father. Father will have succeeded. Uh, وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع غرور فما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع متاع الغرور إلا متاع الغرور. For the life of this world is but goods and channels of deception. But the life of this world is nothing but goods and channels of deception. Illa mata'ul gururi. I think that's the end of the. Now we go to the second note, 492. No, we haven't read even the first. The first note first. And the first note is against tasting of death. It's going to be explained here for us. The death of the body will give a taste. The death of the body will give a taste of death to the soul when the soul separates from the body. Of course, the soul does not die, but it's with the body, and it's the body that is going to die and get rotten, and the soul takes off. But then, at the point of death, the soul is with the body, and so the soul is only tasting death, but not dying. We all know the soul remains forever. So, كل نفس ذائقة الموت. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. The soul will taste death, as at the last point is with the body before the body dies. Okay. The soul will then know that this life was but a probation. Full stop. And seeming inequalities will be adjusted finally on the day of judgment. Yes. What does this mean? We are in a department, people are chopping money, money. Money that is meant to help the workers, the so-called managers, spend those monies and leave the workers. Money that is meant to help the citizens of a nation, the politicians are sharing up and right, are sharing it left and right, to say up and right, left and right. They will account for it. Sure, no doubt about it. Really keen with certainty. Seeming inequalities will be adjusted finally on the day of judgment. That's 491 to sign 185. Let's go to the second note, which is 492, goods of deception. 492. Compare Longfellow's Psalm of Life. Compare Longfellow's. I believe Longfellow is a writer. Psalm of Life. And Psalm of Life is spelled, Psalm is spelled capital PSALM. Capital PSALM. It's like the book of Psalms. So compare Longfellow's Psalm of Life, colon. All this world's fleeting show. Okay, that's the title of the book, rather. Psalm of Life. Into brackets, all, no, 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 this is a excerpt from the book. Into inverted commas, rather, in inverted commas. All this world's a fleeting foam. All this worlds is apostrophe world is apostrophe s. All this worlds a fleeting show. Full stop. For man's illusion given. Fleeting show. Full stop. Then for man's illusion given. Then inverted commas closed. This only reality. This only reality will be when we have attained our final goal. Let's go to the next sign, which is 186. uh, لتبلون في أموالكم وأنفسكم. We shall certainly, ye shall certainly be tried and tested in your possessions, amwalikum, and in yourself, anfusikum. Mm. What wala tasmuna, wala tasmauna min allazina utu alkitaba min qablikum. Let's stop there, min qablikum. And ye shall certainly hear tasmauna. You shall certainly hear. I've lost my pen. And ye shall certainly hear much that will grieve you. وَلَتَسْمَعُونَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. Hear much that will grieve you from those who received the book before you, min qablakum. From those who received the book before you, min qablakum. وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا أَذًى وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا مَذًى كَثِيرًا وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا أَذًى كَثِيرًا. From those who received the book before you, and from those who worship partners besides God, and from those who worship partners besides God. But if ye preserve patiently, okay, we haven't gotten there, but we can do it later. But if ye preserve patiently and guard against evil, then that indeed is a matter of great resolution. Azan kathiran. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا, that is, if ye preserve patiently, that's وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. من عزم الأمور. But if ye preserve patiently and guard against evil, then that indeed is a matter of great resolution. And great here is azmin umuri. great resolution. Umuri here is resolution. I don't see any sign to read. No, there is. There is a note to read. There is a note to read. Note 493. Note 493. Uh, in your possessions and your selves, anfusikum, amwalukum, wa anfusikum. That's where we are. 493. Not wealth and possessions only, into brackets, or want of them, are the means of our trial. They are not the only means of our trial. All our personal talents, knowledge, this is a repetition for us to hear or to put inside here. All talents, knowledge, opportunities, and their opposites, comma and dash. In fact, everything that happens to us and makes up our personality is a means of our testing. Is a means of our testing. Anything that good God gives you, material or immaterial, is a test. Full stop. So is our faith. So our faith also is a test. Colon. We shall have to put up for it may for it may for it we may sorry we might we shall have to put up for it. We shall have to put up for it many insults from those who do not share it. So whatever you have, you should expect to get insults from others. So the gift, any gift of God, any gift of God is a trial. There are envious people around you. There are people who will even insult or attack you physically. So you see that everything from God is a trial. And that was note 493 to sign 186. Let's go to 187. وإذ أخذ الله ميثاق الذين أوتوا الكتاب لتبيننهم للناس لتبيننه للناس. And remember, God took a covenant, أخذ الله ميثاقا, from the people of the book, الذين أوتوا الكتاب لتبينن لتبيننه للناس, from the people of the book, to make it known, clearly known, to make it known and clear to mankind, للناس, للناس, to mankind, للناس. ولا تكتموه ولا تكتمونه ولا تكتمونه, and not to hide it. ولا not to took, sorry, ولا تكتمونه, and not to hide it. فنبذوه وراء فنبذوه وراء ظهرهم فنبذوه وراء ظهرهم, not to hide it, but they threw it, but they threw it behind their backs, ظهرهم, behind their backs, ظهرهم. واشتروا به ثمنا قليلا واشتروا به ثمنا ثمنا قليلا. Look, قليلا, I can't even tell. ويشتروا به ثمنا كميلا and قليلا ثمنا كميلا and purchase with it اشتروا به some miserable gain, some miserable gain, and purchase with it some miserable gain. ثمنا قليلا. فبئس ما يشترون فبئس ما يشترون and vile was the bargain they made. And vile was the bargain they made. So you see, in this interpretation, the interpreter doesn't go word for word. Ma Yashtaruna will mean what he bought, but it's not there. Here it is the bargain for. And the vile was the bargain they made. Perfect, because that's the real meaning. At the end of everything, that's the meaning of the sentence. So we shouldn't expect to get word for word translated from Arab to English like that. We go to the overall meaning of it, and that was the goal of our honorable interpreters. 495 is the sign. 495. Pardon me. 495. We are asked to compare chapter 2, 101. Chapter 2, 101. I believe Tamalan Kalinan is mentioned there too. Can we quickly go there? 101, chapter 2, 101. Tamalan Kalinan, chapter 2, 101. Chapter 2, 101. ولما جاءهم رسل من عند الله مصدقا لما معهم نبذ فريقا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب الله ورآهم زهرهم كأنهم لا يعلمون. That's throwing at the back of the book. That is, let's go to English. They threw the book of God behind their backs. So we've done the comparison. And that was note 495 to sign 187. Let's go to sign 186. No, 188. Let's go to sign 188. لا يحسبن الذين يفرحون بما أتوا ويحبون أن يحمدوا بما لم يفعلوا. Let me take it in bits. لا يحسبون الذين يفرحون بما أوتوا. Think not that those who exult, think not that those who exult in what they have brought about, bima atu, or bima atu, what they have brought about, bima atu, wayuhibuna, and yamadu, what they have brought about, and love, yahabuna, and love, wayuhibuna, and love, wayuhibuna, and yamadu, and love to be praised for what they have not done. yubuna uh, bima lam yaf'alu, for what they have not done. Bima lam yaf'alu, what they have not done. Uh, فلا تحسبنهم فلا تحسبنهم بمفاز بمفازة من عذاب. فلا يحسبنهم بمفازة من العذاب. Uh, they have not, for what they have not done. Think not that they can escape the chastisement of the fire. And yeah, bima lam yaf'alu, fala yahsabunna bima fazatan min al fazatan, to escape mm, from the chastisement, azabun, walhum azabun alim. For them is a chastisement grievous indeed, azabun alim, grievous indeed. Note 496. Note 496. It's against to be praised for what they have not done. It still exists. People want to be praised for something that they have not done. 496. A searching picture, search for something. A searching picture of the worldly wise. Yes. They may cause mischief and misery to others, but gloat over any glory it may bring them. Sign of exclamation. They may trample down God. They may trample down God's truth and enthrone false standards of worship. Full stop. They may take credit for virtues they do not possess and seeming successes that come in spite of their despicable deceptions. And that's note 496 to sign 188. Let's go to sign 199, which happens to be the last sign to this section. That's section 19. 189, sign 189. I don't think there is any note to read. No, there's no note to read. Sign 189. Walillahi mulku samawati wal ard. Walillahi mulku samawati wal ard. Or walillahi mulku samawati wa al ard. To God belongeth the dominion, mulk, of the heavens, samawati, and the earth, ardu. To God belongeth the dominion of the heavens and earth. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in kadirun. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in kadirun. And God had power over all things. And that's the last note. Oh, sorry, pardon me. And that's the last sign, sign 189 to section 19 of chapter 3 of the Holy Quran. Thank you very much. Until we meet again, Lalakai, Baba, Uruba. May God be with you all. When we come back in our next episode, we shall go to section 20, which begins with sign 190.